Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. There is a fight happening this Friday. It's on ESPN Friday Night Fights that I think you need to know about. It involves two unbeaten fighters. It's the NABO light welterweight champion, Karim Mayfield, and he's going up against unbeaten Serrano, who has an extensive amateur background and has been making a name for himself in the Northeast. I expect this fight to be stylistically a great fight. Let me just say, you have a technician, Serrano, a guy who knows how to block punches, set other punches up, counterpunch, plan things out. But the problem is he's facing a Roy Jones, David Haye type of ambush fighter. A guy who has sparred and has looked good sparring against Manny Pacquiao, right? A guy who has quick hands and can literally jump in, hit you with a bunch of punches, and then get back out. He has literally the kind of style that I think would give technicians like Floyd Mayweather, as well as Serrano, all kinds of problems, right? Let me just say, my pick in this fight, notwithstanding my pet here, my pick in this fight is to go with Karim Mayfield, who I think is simply going to have too much explosiveness and who's going to be too outside the box for Serrano to deal with, right? Serrano can beat you if you stand in front of him and actually try to box against him. But I believe Serrano is in for a shock when he realizes that he's not remotely as mobile as Karim Mayfield. And understand, sometimes, in my opinion, and I know this is controversial, hopefully I'll make it through this video, I know this is controversial, but sometimes actually having an extensive amateur background, actually being coached up from a young age, actually works against you when you're in the ring with an unconventional fighter who does things outside the book. And when you look at Karim Mayfield, you're going to see he stands far away, and I mean far away, from his opponent, right? He's not trying to keep the opponent busy with the jab. His jab is kind of perfunctory. What he's really trying to do is to just sense an opening, jump in, throw a combination, turn his opponent, get back out, right? I think this is going to completely confuse unbeaten Serrano, who is a top 10 ranked contender, right? I think Serrano, just like James Toney against Roy Jones, is going to be completely puzzled on how to deal with an opponent who uses the entire ring and who can lead when he wants with power shots. Let me also say, too, that Mayfield has some sophisticated wrinkles to his game, where when a technician shortens the ring on him and is able to catch up with him, Mayfield actually is able to tie up his opponent. He's a master at clinching. There's an excellent tape online right now of a sparring session between Mayfield and Manny Pacquiao. And what you'll see in that sparring session is not only does Mayfield hold his own, but when Pacquiao comes inside and tries to unload, Mayfield is able to clinch Pacquiao and smother many of those punches, right? While Mayfield looks inartful, he's very effective. In fact, like Serrano, he's unbeaten. The thing with ambush fighters, whether it's Pascal, whether it's Hay, whether it's Roy Jones, is they aren't in front of you long enough for a counterpuncher to figure out the angles at which the punches are coming. Right? They're too far outside. So even a fine technician like Ray Serrano or someone like Floyd Mayweather, and keep in mind, I'm not saying Karim Mayfield beats Mayweather, I'm just saying style-wise, this is the style that would give a Mayweather problems, right? A Mayweather wouldn't be able to perform like he was able to perform against Miguel Cotto, where Mayweather could know where Cotto's left hook was coming from. That's a little harder to do when the guy isn't right in front of you, but when the guy is actually a few feet away from you, and the guy is able to feint, then literally leap in with the shot from different angles, often throwing the shot from down around his waist, right? I like Karim Mayfield. Sometimes being a conventional technician like Ray Serrano works against you. I think Serrano is going to really have a hard time just catching up with Mayfield. I also feel that Serrano throws his punches a little wide, which actually should give Mayfield the opportunity to get in under them. In other words, if Serrano throws a wild punch, he'll be left exposed for that moment. That's when a good ambush fighter, David Hay, Karim Mayfield, can literally jump in and do damage. If you're following the 140-pound division, this is a fight that needs to be followed as it features two of the up-and-comers, two unbeaten up-and-comers in the division. I like Karim Mayfield in this one. I think his ambush fighting and distance will simply be too much for Ray Serrano to handle. We'll find out. It's a high-risk play. We'll find out on ESPN Friday Night Fights. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Let me add a little addendum. When Karim Mayfield fought Steve Forbes, I thought that was a fascinating fight. I was expecting Steve Forbes to outbox Karim Mayfield. After all, Forbes had gone the distance with people like Oscar De La Hoya. What happened in that fight was Forbes, and look at the early rounds in particular, was looking at Karim Mayfield, couldn't figure out the angles. Mayfield would jump in and would land power shots on Forbes, and then would get outside before Forbes could do anything. Right? Forbes' technical brilliance, dare I say technical superiority, went out the window because, of course, Mayfield just didn't give him enough to work with up close. I think this is a recent development in boxing. We'll call it the post-Roy Jones era. I think people need to look at this as a way to get around technical fighters. Let me know what you think. Hope you leave a message for me here online and visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for watching.